database management. So database management is made up of 4 key areas. First is database marketing. So that is the one-to-one nature and the way that you can actually go out with different messages to different people. It's also the database. So where is all of this information and this data stored? And so many people have got paper files rather than it being stored on the computer. Even Excel is a better database than having a paper-based system. Third is the communications. So what are the different communications and what are the messages that you are going out in with those communications? How do they differ from being a potential patient to after them actually having the procedure? What are the different scales and what are the different communications that go out? And then the last thing is the technology. So as we mentioned before, the technology is constantly changing, but there are some key things that you can be looking at to make sure that that technology is set up and is right for you. It's helping rather than hindering the process. So just getting into what is database marketing, and it is really a form of direct marketing. And direct marketing basically means one-to-one communication. So it's the clinic communicating to the potential patient or the clinic communicating to the patient, just in a very friendly and very natural way. And it uses databases of customers or potential customers so that they can actually generate personalised responses and personalised messages that are sent to them at a relevant time and with relevant content. There are a number of things that need to be considered with database marketing, and they are the communications, so making sure that it is, that one-to-one communication, and making sure that you do understand the audience you're talking to. It's not right to be going out to someone who may want one procedure, but they actually don't qualify or aren't eligible for it. It's understanding what they need and making sure that the content or the information you give them is actually relevant to them. And it's also about making sure that you do communicate in the most easy and simplest way what it is the benefit of what you are actually talking about. The second thing is the audience, and it's also understanding the audience potential. So who are the people on your database who are more than likely to take up the offer or even respond to the communication that you're sending out there? And then the last thing is the technology. So the data technology and the data techniques is really important. Are you making sure that your data is fresh, is clean? Are you consistently capturing all of the information and all of the data fields for every single one of your patients and potential patients? So looking at the second thing within database management, the database, and this really is the most important thing. As I said before, you need to get rid of that paper-based system because it's very difficult to manage, and it also is very difficult to go and find records in it. So the database usually has all of the important information about a customer or a potential patient, and what it does do is it should look at how a patient does actually progress over time. So everything from their first phone call to their first information session to their appointments to their first adjustment to their second adjustment, and some of the consulting sessions in there as well. So it's a complete record about an individual. The key elements to data is making sure that it is accurate. You don't want any data that is outdated or even duplicates. I've seen a number of examples where it's easier for someone to create a new record than updating the existing patient record. So you don't want to be doing that because you'll have multiple records and the data just won't be clean. The way that you can make sure that your data is clean and is accurate is every touch point or every time the patient or potential patient comes into the clinic, picks up the phone, comes in and visits or does something with the clinic, make sure that you are checking their information at every point. And also ask them how they want to be communicated to. So are they happy with a phone call or would they much prefer an email? And every time they come in, ask them something new. So initially you just want their personal information, but then ask about their goal information. What is it their goal that they are actually trying to achieve, and how are they going in achieving it? What are the barriers, and make sure that you are recording that so that you can then see if there are trends amongst your patients and even tailor some content for those trends so that it can help more than just those 1 or 2 patients. So the third thing, communications. So this is really important to understand the communications process and what content and what information a potential or an existing patient needs at every single one of these steps. So this is where they've either picked up the phone, they may have gone online to check, they may have sent an online inquiry, or they may have come into the clinic for a visit. So this is where you really do need to provide as much information as you can so that at least they can be getting that content. It would be, why lap band, or why some of the other procedures, why they should actually think about doing this. What are some of the other experiences, or what are some of the other patients' testimonials or successes that you can be sharing with them? What about the surgeon in the clinic? Who is the surgeon that they'll be working with, and who is the clinic team around them that will be there to support them? When you have a look at the new patient, if they do come into an information session, what they can expect. So when you get there, what is it that they do when they get to the front reception? Have you got a photo of that front reception so that you can be sending them, and even the receptionist or the clinic manager who'll be greeting them at the door, what do they look like so that they can feel at ease as soon as they get there? Then, after they've had the procedure and they're looking at their first adjustment, what to expect, what to feel, what to eat, all of those things are really important to patients, and they want to understand so that they feel like they are in control. Again, for the second adjustment is, what to expect. What have others experienced, and what are some of the things or the tips and tricks that can be shared and can be passed on so that they don't feel like they are alone. And then the third is very similar to the second, but it will be tailored depending on what your clinic experiences are and how you are actually communicating and talking to your patients. There's 5 database marketing techniques that you can consider. Inbound call monitoring, outbound call monitoring, there's the email marketing, traditional DM, which is the letters and also the mail packs, and then SMS marketing. So the key things to note is with inbound marketing, it is just looking at the time, the day, the date of when those calls are coming in, monitoring to see if a Monday is getting more call volume than what a Friday does. So that on a Monday, you can make sure that there is a script or there is something available to the people picking up the phone so that they can be making sure that they are educating the people who do call in. Outbound call monitoring. This is really making sure that you do have structured follow-ups and also scripts. So when you are talking to people, that you know that there are probably about 5 or 6 different barriers that every potential patient and even some of the patients do go through. What is the script and what is the information that you've got that you can provide to those people so that they can feel at ease and, potentially shorten their purchase decision-making process? Email marketing. So this is where it goes to both the potentials and also the existing patients. So what are some of the new recipes that you've found or that your patients have shared with you? Can you be pushing those out so that everyone can actually benefit and share from the shared learning and knowledge that the clinic does have? Traditional DM. So this is where, and this is a great way to make sure that your data is clean, or that you do send out a traditional survey. So finding out how the patients are actually experiencing the clinic and if there is anything that they can be doing to, or you can be doing to improve your service. And then SMS marketing. I think SMS and text marketing on the mobile is the best for reminders. Probably not for a marketing message, but definitely a reminder for an appointment so that people know when and what they need to bring to the next session.